Okay, here we are in the NICU and you are getting ready to do your EKG. First thing you're going to do is call to check if this machine is available for you. Once you determine that this machine is available, back to the NICU and go ahead and bring it to your bedside and we'll talk about what components are here.
A couple of components for our EKG that we're going to start off with. This is the patient wristband scanner. This center button here, you just push it and the light comes up, and that's actually what's scanning the patient ID. It'll automatically populate the patient's information on the EKG screen. The next thing we have is the acquisition pad. This has all the leads connected to it, including the limb leads on each end, and then V1 through V6 in between them. If you turn it around, you can see it's labeled. The V1 through V6 are in the middle, like we said, and then the limb leads are on the outside. The little white dots, once you actually hook it up to the patient, will turn green, yellow, or red. Green meaning that there's great contact, yellow meaning that it's suboptimal, and red means that there's no contact. Ideally, what you want is for all these to be green in order to get a good EKG reading. This is always going to be hanging up on the machine with the leads hanging down as to not bend them. This helps preserve the life of the leads. The way it's stored, the screen is face down so that it helps save the battery. As soon as you tilt it up, the screen will turn on. Here we have our little storage bin, which will house the clips for our leads. If you need to replace it, you can just pull it off, take a new one, and pop it right on. The little sticky pads for our EKG. Down here too is also additional EKG paper. Here's our power cord. Whenever the machine is not in use, it is ideal to keep it plugged into a wall to preserve the battery life. Paper storage is over here on the side. There's this little handle here. You just squeeze that, it opens it up. If you ever need to replace the EKG paper, it's very important that this white strip is closest to the screen, towards the back of the machine. You're going to pick up the patient ID band scanner and then scan the patient's band. All these fields will automatically be inputted, the patient ID, last name, and all that stuff. Actually, only two pieces of information that are absolutely necessary in order to move on to an EKG, and they're indicated by these little asterisks. So the patient ID needs to be put in there, and the technician needs to be put in there. In an emergent situation where we don't have an ID band, you can just put in, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 99999, whatever, as a patient ID, and then your technician. Once you hit save.
Now that you have your patient information entered, you're going to look at the hookup advisor. Here on the right hand side of your screen is your hookup advisor.
It'll bring up this diagram of where to place all the leads. It's the same picture. So in case you forget where the leads go, this will show you here. This is your actual EKG screen where you're going to see your waveforms pop up. On this side of the screen, you also see that there is a start EKG button and a start rhythm button. The difference is this is a long capture. Press start rhythm, print till you hit the button again. And this is going to be used if you suspect that there's an arrhythmia coming up for any reason and you want to capture it. You can run EKG. So you can see it's running. Let's just say that we've captured our arrhythmia. I'm going to press the button one more time and it'll stop. It'll start EKG. It's going to bring you to this screen. If you're happy with the EKG that you got, there's no mistakes, you're going to hit accept. If for whatever reason there's like a lead placement error, you can hit reject. Then you get back to this previous page. Once you fix the error and you're happy with the way the EKG looks, you'll go ahead and press that button one more time and it'll bring you back to this screen. Once you hit accept, it'll automatically print it out for you.
Once you're done with your EKG, you can go ahead and power off the screen by just tilting it down and returning it back to diagnostic imaging.